Whew. So, if you run a business, you've probably experienced this before. Try to give somebody feedback, maybe you're trying to help them improve, and instead of listening, they get defensive. They justify, they blame somebody else, or they shut down completely.
And they deny, and then they quit.
So as a leader, that can be really frustrating. I mean, you sit there and you're thinking, I'm trying to freaking help you. And you just lose your mind. So today I'm joined by Nicole Mitchell. Nicole is the lead processor at Uncovering Greatness. And what she does is she helps you find out what you want and she helps you get it. So as a leader, she could help you if you want to find out how to deal with your team better. She could help you with that, correct?
Correct.
Why do you think about it?
Why do I think about it? Yeah, I suppose just making sure that it was something that I could actually do.
So why do you think people act defensively? Like, why does that happen?
So the first thing is, I guess, one is, are you going in to attack or are you going in to help?
Mm-hmm.
So from the point of view of a business owner, you may think you're going in to help.
Yeah.
But the employee sees it as they always attack me.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
So that's one reason why, is that it's perception. So, and it's such a challenging topic because a lot of times the person is not perceiving correctly. So we've seen it in our office. You bring in a new person and I go in and I ask a question, and this new person is absolutely like, they can't handle the fact that I've asked them a question.
Yeah.
But Barry will go in and ask them the exact same question in the same tone, the same everything, and they'll answer and they go, yeah, whatever.
Mm.
And, one of the challenges is that in that instance, I trigger and remind that person of someone else from their past.
Oh.
So they're not seeing me. They're seeing maybe it was an auntie or an uncle or somebody that like interrogated them. And so when they see me, that's who I remind them of. And so immediately they get defensive, not because of anything I said, it's because who or what I trigger and remind them of. And because that's how they survived in the past, was getting defensive with an auntie or an uncle or a cousin or a teacher, or, we don't know who or what it was. But that's one of the main reasons that people actually get defensive, is because they don't perceive correctly. They're not even aware that, you remind me of. So it's like, the term Karen, where did it come from? Oh, she's a Karen.
It came from a Karen. I think it was actually, there was a lady who was named Karen behaving in a certain way.
Correct. A lady named Karen behaving in a certain way, and everybody goes, oh, she's a Karen.
So societal conditioning. In
it's sense. That. Why? Because this next person reminds you of the behaviors of the original Karen. Whether their name's Karen or not.
Yeah.
She's a Karen.
Yeah.
And so we do these things and we make fun of them and what have you, but we don't realize how those are actually happening every single day. That trigger, that it reminds me of this person, and subconsciously, it's not a conscious decision. It's a subconscious thing that I'm going to go, no, but you don't understand. And they get defensive.
Yeah.
Why? Because immediately that was the behavior that helped them survive previously. So that's one of the reasons that people get defensive.
So before I give this, not really a stat, but it's sort of like a piece of, I guess, evidence. Do you think that the word criticism, especially in the workplace, do you think it's a bad word? Criticism.
Okay, so again, it's every person is different. So it's like the word school. If you use the word school, some people are going to go, but I love school. And other people are going to go, school is my worst nightmare. Like,
for sure.
Don't ever. So again, what I perceive and what you perceive could be two different things.
Yes, I'm asking what you perceive.
So, given the fact that I've had a lot of critical people in my life,
Yeah.
I don't perceive it as a positive word.
Okay. Got you. So it says, research in neuroscience shows that when people receive criticism, the brain can interpret it as a threat, almost like physical danger, which activates the flight or fight response. So people, would you say that's why people, so like you just said, let's just say I have a negative connotation of the word criticism. And you come to me and you say, so can I give you some criticism? Just the word alone, irrespective of you don't even speak. You just say, can I give you some criticism? And already I'm gone.
Correct. Because, depending on your experience with criticism is you could perceive already, oh, I'm going to get into trouble. I'm going to get shouted at. I'm going to get, so immediately I don't hear anything else. Why? Because I can't, because I'm stuck on, I'm about to get yelled at.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is past experiences. So, the word criticism just becomes what we call like a present time activator. So it activates me in the present into something from the past. So it would be that auntie or uncle that screamed and yelled at me. And I'm like, oh, this person's going to criticize me. That means they're going to yell.
Oh, okay. So I'm immediately going to get yelled at because the last time.
That's what happened. And let's say it's an aunt. My aunt was so critical. She always picked on me and blah, blah, blah. So immediately we go, oh, my boss says he's going to give me some criticism. Oh, they're going to scream and yell and they're going to pick on me. I cannot physically hear anything else past that.
So you kind of just sit there and you nod and you're like, okay. But you're not there.
I'm not there because I have been I'm now in the past of every time my aunt screamed and yelled at me and what have you. So I cannot be here and hear what you're saying now. So
it's like a movie is playing in your head of that thing with your aunt that happened that time. So your boss or your manager, whoever is sitting in front of you.
And you can't even see them. You can't hear them because why? You're not present. You've gone back to the past and you are in your mind. You are physically in front of the person, but in your mind, you're already going, oh, I wonder if they're going to yell, if they're going to scream. Oh, remember that one time my aunt did this and immediately, and I go into cold sweats and and my boss hasn't even said anything.
Your boss said, what the heck is going on?
Because he used the word
criticism.
And I think often people don't even realize that that's actually what's happening. And I say people as in neither the boss nor the employee realizes that's what's happening. The boss is going, like, I'm trying to help you get better and you've just switched off.
Yeah.
What the?
Where are you?
Well, next time I'm not going to help you. Next time I'm just going to come flying in and flip it.
Blitz you. That's it.
That's it.
There's nothing else I can do right now. That's crazy because I know that I've said on our podcast a few times, the brain is stupid. I feel like I'm now changing that just based off what you said. Brain is very complex.
The brain is incredibly smart and at protecting us from one thing.
What?
Pain.
So the pain of my aunt my boss shouting at me now, the pain that my aunt gave me. Sorry to all the aunts, just
in some example, yes.
But that pain, my brain's trying to. So would you say I'm shutting off because my brain trying to protect me?
My brain switches off because yes, that was what got me through dealing with my aunt.
Yeah.
Was to switch off and not be present. So that's the behavior that I create. Is that I don't want to experience the pain. I don't want to remember the pain. I don't want to feel the pain. So the brain switches off.
Yeah. So would you say then, because I feel like that's where the whole thing of, I don't know where it starts, but the whole thing of leave your emotions at the door when it comes to work probably stems from, right? Because you bringing your your past experiences, your past baggage, or you bring in your past because you can't just leave it at home, unfortunately. You have to bring it with you. And people don't want that. I want to be able to communicate with you in the present. Like, I want to give you this criticism now for what you've done.
Correct.
But I can't because you've shut down because you brought your emotions to work.
And this is where people are not conditioned or taught or even shown how to get through that.
Yeah.
So instead of that example of my boss comes and sits down in front of me and says, I need to give you some criticism, immediately I switch off and I go, and if my boss can see that I'm not present, he's got to say, what's happening?
Okay. Interesting.
And he's got to get me present to here and now and say, okay, did something come to mind? What are you thinking about? What do you understand criticism to mean?
Yeah.
And as soon as I can articulate, well, it actually means you're going to scream and yell at me. And then he goes, oh, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I'm here to do. I actually want to help you. So let's maybe call it feedback. Can I give you some feedback?
Yeah, just change up the word a little bit.
But the problem is that the boss is going, I'm doing everything right. And I asked, can I give you some criticism? And I asked, can I do this? Not understanding that the person got triggered by what he asked.
Dang.
And that's where people get defensive because immediately they go into, yeah, but you said you were going to give me some criticism. That means you just want permission to scream at yell. No, that's not what I asked.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting. Do you think that like that sort of justification can sometimes become especially in the workplace, it becomes a crutch in a sense? So, and I
that word, that's crutch.
Okay.
Because most people don't understand or have any context of what it means.
So
they use it as an excuse.
So yes, fine. They use it as an excuse, right? And I know, for example, so everybody says this about me in the office, and I feel that this is very wrong, that I don't answer my phone. That is not true. And I'm going to tell you why. So I never used to answer your calls specifically because it triggered me of when my mother used to call.
Yes. And so you're the employee that
I always felt as though when you were calling me, I was in trouble for something. Because that's what happened with my mother. And it's not just saying it happened all the time, but that's how my brain remembers it, right? My brain remembers my mother always calling me to yell at me about something. And it felt like it was the same with you. And unfortunately, what then happened is because we all worked together, everybody got the brunt of it. I stopped answering everybody's calls because my fear was now somebody else is calling me on your behalf. So I'm like, oh, you're trying to trick me. I know, right? Crazy.
How the brain works.
Magical.
To avoid pain.
Just to avoid pain. And I don't even know if at any time it was going to be a painful conversation.
I can understand that there were times in the past where that was all I did was scream and yell at people. So I relate to that. Yes.
Yeah, me specifically, but I feel like I was targeted. See, that's what a lot of employees feel.
And it's quite fascinating how many people have had that. I have had that effect on is I trigger and remind them of someone. And that's, yeah. So it's not uncommon, but I think just because I'm pretty honest and I just go straight in and like, hey, sort your shit out.
Feedback. I don't even feel like that's criticism because it's like, I don't even know what my shit is. So okay.
But yeah, I don't know what your question was. You started off by saying,
oh no, that was just the realization that I had.
Realization, not us answering the phone.
Yeah.
As it is. It's just when people start to actually observe their behavior, often it's not actually the person that is the issue. So I'll use that example.
Yep.
I don't answer my phone. So I'll go and I'll say to Barry, so he never answers his phone. Now, what I start to do is I start to put that on you, as in I project that on you. So he never answers his phone. Okay. So now what happens is Barry goes, no, Sully answers his phone.
Mm.
And then the one time you don't answer your Barry's call because you're, I don't know, in the bathroom or something, Barry will go, yeah, you're right.
That's what it became, yeah.
Sully never answers his phone.
Never.
Because Barry suddenly goes into agreement with you.
Mm.
Now, Barry starts projecting that on you.
Yep.
Then, in terms of, we go to the next person and say, does Sully answer your calls? And they're like, yeah. And then the next time they phone Sully, Sully's outside having a smoke and his phone's on silent or he can't answer the phone or what have you. He's on another call.
Recording a podcast.
That too. They go, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
And now suddenly there's 4 people that have gone into agreement with Sully never answers his phone. And Sully's going, well, stuff them, I'm going to prove them right.
Yeah.
And all this is happening subconsciously. It's not a conscious decision. And then we're all in agreement with it. And Sully goes, yeah, well, you guys always tell me I don't answer my phone, so I'm not going to answer my phone. And then when somebody says, hey, Sully, you need to answer your phone. And he goes, why? You guys all tell everybody that I don't answer my phone, so what's the point?
Exactly.
And it creates this defensiveness and this sort of, I'm just going to prove you right.
Yeah.
And without you even knowing that there were 3 of us that went into agreement of you don't answer your phone, you immediately went, they're all talking about me. They're all saying I don't answer my phone. And whether you chose to go, well, I'm not going to answer my phone in case Nicole's asking Barry to phone me.
Yeah, that's
whatever it was. It's irrelevant. It's the because we feel what people are projecting on us.
Yeah.
And I say subconsciously, we're not often it's below our level of awareness. We don't even know that that's what's happening, but we will react in a certain way.
And I mean, that's such a great example of stuff that happens in workplaces, right? And in teams. Something as simple as you don't answer your phone or, oh, you're always late. Then that person switches and it's like, I was late one time and now I'm always late. And now 5 of you, everywhere I go, somebody's telling me in this business that I'm always late. Where did this come? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just be late now because that's what you're expecting of me, right?
Correct. Because, I'm going to get defensive and, well, why are you late? Well, you guys always say I'm late, so I'm just proving you right.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Why would you want to do that? Like, why would you want to prove me right?
That's crazy. It's a great question.
All it is because other people have gone into agreement with it and you yourself have gone into agreement with it unknowingly.
Yeah.
And then you start to get defensive. Well, you guys always tell me that, so whatever.
Let's just keep this ball rolling then. Let's just do that.
Or else the other thing that happens is we kind of go, well, Sully's always late.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if I'm late.
Nope.
Or the boss is always late. So it doesn't matter if I'm late.
No.
And then when somebody else will say, no, Nicole, I'm noticing that you're getting to work later and later every day. I just want to, people are starting to notice that you come in late. Maybe, well, what difference does it make? The boss is always late, so why can't I be late? And people don't realize that the boss was on flipping Zoom calls and whatever with America and Australia and whatever. And they've been awake and they've been working since 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is. And employees don't see that just because you're not in the office, it doesn't mean you won't work.
Yeah.
And so they kind of go, well, because you were late, I can come late too.
Yeah, that's such a big one. I think that, and I know that I've been guilty of it at times where it's like you don't understand, you have no context of what the boss is actually doing. You're just like, well, they're not in the office, so guess what? I'm not going to be in the office either because I'm going to work from home because you're working from home. And it's like, yeah, but I'm working from home there's a specific reason. There's this, that, and the third. There's a whole bunch of things that I've seen and I've started to learn that bosses and leaders are actually doing that you have zero clue about, right? Like when we had UGE last year, I was sharing a room with one of the managers. This man was up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and all I could just sending emails. And so, yeah, that's all I could hear. And I'm like, dude, I only have to be up at 5. Like, what are you doing? But for me, it was such a big realization. He knew what his day was. He knew how it was going to be working out. And he was up at 4 doing what he needed to get done, making sure everybody had what they needed from him because he wasn't there because he's from Namibia. And it was just such a great realization. And I've seen it over and over and over again with different leaders that, yeah, people have zero context, right? So the boss drives a nice car. So, yeah, the company must be making incredible money, but I'm not getting paid more. I was like, yeah, but you don't know that the boss has investments. You don't know that the boss has this, that, and the third, a wife that works, that she makes more money than him, actually. You have no idea. Or his uncle died and left him some money. You don't know.
We don't know. And this is the challenge. And so, when you are giving feedback, it's important to ask the questions, and ask the right questions. So, yes, go and ask, can I give you some criticism? But then read what people, how they respond. Don't take what they say at face value. So when you're giving feedback or you're asking questions or you want to give feedback, it's important for you to ask questions, but also look for what the physical manifestation is. Like, did the person's eyes go all glossy and like,
yeah, they're gone.
Are they rolling their eyes or are they going? Because a lot of times the answers are in front of you. And the genuine feedback that you should be looking at is the physical, the way the person's responding physically. If they're sitting like this when they're sitting.
Person's gone.
They're gone. You have knocked the wind out of their sails.
Yeah.
Because of something you did or said or what have you. But understand that it probably wasn't you. It's a trigger for something else.
Could be a trigger of a previous boss.
Correct. It could be. And it's just like, you just
I've been trying to avoid this so long.
Every place I go to, I find a boss that's just like you.
Because all bosses are assholes.
And the challenge is you as the boss are not the issue. The issue is it's what you trigger or remind the person of. So what you have to do, you have to ask them the questions, who or what do I trigger or remind you of without actually saying that. You like, what's happening? You have to make people aware. Like, I noticed that, your shoulders went down. What happened? I noticed that, that big smile you had's disappeared. Like,
you were cherry the whole day. What happened? you happened.
and then was it something I said? And then they can go, yeah, you said this. Okay. Well, what is your understanding of this word? Like, what is your understanding of feedback? What is your understanding of, when I said you had to do some training, what did you understand that to mean? Well, I've got to do exams and I've got to do this and it's like school and I've got to sit in the classroom and I've got to work until 8 o'clock and, I can't do that. And you're like, that's not what training is. Like, not in our world.
Yeah. No, not in our world at all. I mean, just, we have our last sales explosion coming up. If you guys, just so you guys know, 20th and 21st of March, the last sales explosion. It's a great place for managers and business owners to send their teams and come with your teams. Don't send them because
come and see a different way to train.
See a different way to train and actually see a different way of how your team engages. Right? So this is an interesting one as well. And I feel like this new setup that I've created for the podcast you guys are just flowing with it so nicely because you're answering my questions and I don't know what I'm going to do. So it says a Harvard Business Review study found that nearly 60% of employees say feedback from their manager feels more like criticism rather than guidance.
And that I get that, because the other thing is that most people struggle to ask questions.
Yeah. Especially in business, because we're here to work.
So I'll use this example. We were at an event, and there are some people that were there, and they're quite painful because they never do anything, but they're always there. And one of our team members went, those people are just so annoying. I don't know why they come to all our free events. Like, they just waste our time.
Yep.
And, in terms of, I went straight into telling. And I told the employee, I said, well, you know what? Those people fill our rooms, and they, I would way rather they come because they're apparently getting value. And yes, they may not be applying anything, but you know what? It bulks up our rooms, and it makes our rooms look like there's more people. And isn't that great?
Yeah.
And well, they're still wasting our time. Now, and this is where it's just, I went straight into telling, this is why these people are here.
Got you.
So another way that I realized that I could have said was, aren't you glad that we have loyal customers?
What's a flip?
Wouldn't you like some more loyal customers? Because at the end of the day, those people may be irritating, they may be whatever, but they're loyal.
Very loyal.
So all I'm doing is I'm flipping it so that I'm going, well, wouldn't you like some more loyal customers? Or, something along the lines of, aren't you grateful that we have loyal customers?
Yeah.
Instead of telling, like, I can ask a question. Like, how long do you think it took us to get that many loyal customers?
Flipping on.
So it's flipping it so that I'm not telling you. So the feedback is not, you're an idiot because you can't see that we have loyal customers. And yes, they don't buy a lot, but they still come and they bring people and, what have you. They don't spend a lot of money, but they know people who spend money, and, something always comes of it. And, not huge, but something always comes of it.
They connect us to people.
Correct.
Yeah.
But instead of me telling, it's the challenge is, can you ask a question? And most people struggle with asking questions. And that's where on the Sales Explosion, we play the question game, and we teach people the drills and things around questions and things that you can do to help you ask questions, because it's not natural to ask questions. School teaches us asking questions is a problem. If you are the child that asks lots of questions, you are a problem at school.
Yeah, you get in trouble.
And you get into trouble, and you get taught not
Principal's
to ask
office.
questions. And this is where asking questions is so challenging. And so, yes, absolutely, I can fully understand why most employees think that their employers are there to criticize them and not help them, because the employers don't know how to ask questions like, what help do you need?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Do you understand this little gadget? What does it do for you? Instead of me going, Sully, why aren't you using this? Do you know how much this can change your life if you use it? This little gadget here can make you millions. Now, flip and stop not using it.
I'm probably not going to use it.
Okay, but if I come and say, Sully, do you understand how this works?
Little bit idea.
Okay. Do you understand that if you push this button, it's going to do X?
Okay. Didn't know that.
Okay. Do you know that there's another button on the back here that if you do this, it's going to halve your time that it's taking you to do stuff?
No.
Well, how likely are you to use it now? Because now you understand the value of it.
There's a
Right?
benefit to it.
There's a benefit to you.
Sure.
So if you see more clients because this little gadget halves the time and you can see more clients, do you think you could make more money?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you double your clients and now you're earning commission on every client, don't you think it would be worth you using this?
Yep. 100%.
Well, how much more buy-in do you have?
Way more, because it feels like it's my decision. I'm not being told what to do. You're not telling me that I must use it. I must decide whether. Now I can decide whether or not I use it, right?
But now you know what it's for. You know the benefits. You know how it can help you. And you understand that there is a benefit to you, not just a benefit to me.
Yeah.
Because often people will think the boss wants me to use this so that, blah, blah, blah.
Just to benefit him and make his life easier.
Because he just wants more clients so that he can
make more money. And I'm not going to earn anything more.
And I'm going to do double the amount of work. And so if the boss thinks I'm going to use that,
so I can go on holiday to the Maldives. Oh, okay, fine.
But in actual fact, the boss is not actually trying to do that. The boss is trying to equip you to get better. So
I'm interesting on that.
And that's where, by asking questions like, what is it you don't understand? Where is there something that's been omitted?
So for business owners listening to this, I mean, you guys deal with this every day. You've been dealing with it for many, many years. You and Barry, you try and give feedback or criticism or whatever it is. Someone reacts defensively. They shut down, they blame, they justify. Unfortunately, they don't quit. Some quit. Some have quit in the past, but some have not quit. We stayed with them for too long, but they still continue to do those things. What can leaders do in those moments? Like when that is happening consistently and you just kind of stuck.
One is ask different questions.
Okay.
So first of all, are you asking questions? And then how do you change the question to make it more optimal? Okay.
Jimmy.
So like instead of me saying, why aren't you using this? I can go, do you understand how this works?
Both are questions.
But one is a more optimum question because now I'm finding out what you don't know.
Because more than likely with the first one, I'm not going to tell you I don't know how to use it.
Correct. Even if you don't know how to use it, you're going to say yes.
Yeah, 100%. Because I said when I did the interview, I said I know how to use it.
Correct. You're getting paid to use this.
Yes, I'm not using it.
And you're not using it. So if I come in and I say, so you're getting paid to use this, why aren't you using it?
Yeah.
Well, the batteries are flat and it doesn't charge properly and blah, blah, blah. You're going to get excuses, justifications. But if I come in and say, Sully, can you show me how to use this?
No, I don't want to. I'm busy.
Okay. So, Sully, I understand that you may have used this in the past. Is it okay if I show you how to use this optimally?
Oh, I might I'll buy into that.
Okay, because now I'm going, okay, clearly this little gadget was a little bit different, or maybe you don't know how to use it, but now I'm not pointing fingers and saying, dude, I can see that you don't know how to use this. I'm just going to say, I know you said you know how to use this, but maybe the one you had previously was a little bit different. Can I show you?
Damn.
Now asking permission, I haven't made less of you.
Yes, very important as well.
But I've also, and I haven't said, I can see you're an idiot. But I've gone, okay, cool. Let's see where is the omitted? Where is the something that you don't know? Okay, and then I'm going to go, okay, Sully, I showed you how to use it. Now, can you show me how to use it?
So now there's a clear understanding between both of us.
And now I'm checking to see, did you actually take in what I said? Can you show me? Can you repeat what I just showed you?
Man, it just goes back to for those of you who did watch the 14% of you from America and stuff. It goes back to like the tablecloth example that we were using. I was putting it on because it's a tablecloth. That's what we do. And you came in, you're like, can I show you how to do this? Then you didn't say optimally, but can I show you how to do this better? I was like, oh, okay.
Can I make this easier for you?
I was like, it's a tablecloth. How much better could it get in my brain? But there was but also giving me the reasoning behind it. And it was something so simple as, because it covers the bottom, if we have things behind the table, then delegates can't see it, because if delegates can see it, they can be easily distracted, because that's how people are. And I was like, oh, damn, I never thought about it like that. And I put myself in that position, and I was like, yeah, I've been sitting in lectures. I've sat in many things, and I see one thing, and I'm like, how did that get there? And I've missed a whole lesson. So yeah, I feel you on that.
And so, but just by asking questions differently. So first, you got to ask questions, and then two, how do you make your questions more optimum? So you're not. So the best way to say it is, you're making the obvious with your question.
Got you.
So what's obvious is you don't know how to use this.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very true.
But I'm not going to tell you don't know how to use it. I'm going to make the obvious. I'm going to say, Suli, is it okay if I show you how to use this?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because now I made the obvious, but I did it in a very pleasant way, as opposed to, do you know how to use this? Well, of course it's obvious I know how to use it. It's clearly obvious to me that it's not. And that's where that word obvious is. It's not obvious to everyone. So you are making what is obvious to you obvious to the other person. So you are showing them how to use it. And that's pretty much what we're going to do by asking questions. So can I show you? Or can you show me?
Yeah. Also a good one. Can you, yeah?
Okay, cool. Let's learn together.
Yeah.
And so what that does is it takes away the threat of, oh, I don't want my boss to know this.
Imposter syndrome, idiot.
And most of the time, by the time you actually get through it, it's like, oh wow, you both learned something.
Definitely.
And then benefits everybody, instead of, just use the thing.
Yeah, it just creates an optimal work environment as well.
And so by asking the questions, so first you've got to ask questions.
Yep.
Like if you are not asking questions, start asking questions. If you are asking questions, change your questions to become a little bit more deliberate into, are you using this? Or yes. Well, how are you using it? Well, the way you showed me. That's not going to solve anything.
No.
Okay, so can you show me how you use this? Right, let's see. And yes, most leadership and bosses don't want to sit and go through the demonstration of this is how we use it. But only by doing that would you find out what it is that either you don't know or they don't know.
Yeah.
Because, I've seen it with phone calls. You get staff that don't make phone calls. Well, why aren't they making phone calls? Well, there's nothing wrong with their phone calls. When I listen to their phone calls, there's nothing wrong with them. But you know what? They're taking half an hour between every phone call. Oh, this guy doesn't have an issue with making phone calls. This guy can't write.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get him a laptop and he can type.
Type it out.
What's the problem? Fix the problem.
Yeah.
But you're not going to know that he doesn't know how to write, because he ain't going to tell you that.
No, why would I do that? That's a crazy thing to do. It's my last stat for the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the stats. So Talent Smart did a study that suggests that about 90% of top performing leaders score high in emotional intelligence. So clearly, understanding people's emotions. Obviously, understanding people's emotions in leadership is important. What does that have to do with leading people?
Everything and nothing. And I guess the biggest thing that I would say is, what is emotional intelligence?
Buzzword.
Correct. And that's
Buzzwords.
People go, oh, it's because you're not emotionally intelligent.
My EQs through the
EQs.
Because I read this book about emotional intelligence.
Most people don't even know what it is. They don't know how to measure it. They have no idea. And then they think, oh, if I get all emotional and I show my emotions, I have emotional intelligence because I know my emotions. No, that is not what emotional intelligence is.
Yeah.
And it comes down to this simple thing. Do you know what your mood is? And do you know what the mood of other people is or moods are? And do you know how to change your mood, number one? And do you know how to change the moods of other people? Okay. And most people don't.
Not positively, I would say. I think people know how to change each other's moods negatively.
No, that
Oh, are you saying like it happens by accident?
it happens by accident.
Oh, okay. It's not like you don't. Oh, okay.
People don't even realize it.
Mm.
Yeah, you walk into a room. Sully, do you know that you forgot to turn the kettle on and the kettle is empty? And you do this all the time and I'm sick of it. And I walk out. I didn't see Sully went from to
no idea. You just
no idea.
bombed and left.
Correct. And that's emotional intelligence, is being able to observe how people behave, how they react to what you say or don't say, and what is their mood level.
Okay.
So if I can come in and I can see that your mood is in the toilet and you are critical and snappy, and can I shift your mood?
That's leadership.
That is emotional intelligence.
True story. Because I could pick up on your emotions. I can understand where you are without even asking you. Because I can read. I'm reading you, right?
And
That's what you said.
I'm aware of what your mood is. Not I'm reading you. I can perceive your mood correctly, and I can allow you to change it. And I can help you change it so that you become effective in the workplace. That is what most leaders do, is they help people shift their moods to a positive mood so that they become effective when they're at work.
So I think one of the most important things leaders can take away from this conversation, that people's reactions, moods, and emotions are really just about that moment, not about the criticism that you're about to give them. It's stuff. Yeah. And I think understanding that for leaders, and I think when we say leaders, I think anybody in a leadership role, managers, business owners, entrepreneurs who lead teams, I think it's incredibly important to understand those things when you go into those conversations, right? If you're going to give somebody feedback.
And if you are the business owner, can you lead yourself?
Nah, you're so good. That's what I said yesterday. I can't remember on our episode with Barry. I don't know where I saw this, but somebody had said, as a leader, are you the type of leader that would follow you?
Yes, and most people think they are.
100%.
Not.
You go in full agreement because obviously, yes, look at me. Right?
Follow.
Of course, I'm the leader. Of course, you'd follow me. But if you actually ask some people, they'll be like, "Nah, I'm just doing this because it's my job." It's the only reason. But if we were going to battle, I would not follow.
And that's where honesty is so important, is how honest are you being with yourself.
Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
I think that was a pretty good one.
Me too.
Being honest.
Solid end. Being honest with yourself first and foremost. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Uncovering Greatness podcast. Please do not forget to subscribe. This is a great podcast for you. And the more you subscribe, the more of you subscribe, the better we do this, the better it gets. And the more it grows, the more people we can help, the more businesses we can help. And the more business we can help, the better the economy becomes. And the better the economy becomes, the better our country becomes.
We want people in Africa to subscribe to.
Yes, please. So Africans, South Africans, please. Come on. We know you guys have data. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.